Jackie, and I'm here with Toby McAllister of Sparks the Rescue. Fans have been showing you guys a lot of love lately. End of last year, you had your 20th anniversary concert. Why was that the right time to start playing again and going doing this whole thing again?
Yeah, I think the last year doing the 20th anniversary show at the State Theater was like a good culmination of like our entire career, honestly. Like that venue in particular is like a bucket list headline venue for any band from Maine. We grew up seeing so many shows at the State Theater. It's when we were kids, it's where we saw the bands we used to love, like Sum 41, Saves the Day, Taking Back Sunday. And so it was really cool just to, like, headline that stage. Um, we've been kind of dabbling in hanging out and playing shows over the past couple of years post 2020. And I don't know, it just kind of felt like the natural time to maybe level up and see if people still care. And I mean, having 1,000 people come out to see us in Portland now that we're all like old and dads and stuff, like, it's pretty cool. So we're like, maybe we'd play some shows in New England and see what happens.
And how does your track Ice Storm of 98 represent your current sound?
I think it represents our current sound because it started out as that was like a demo from back maybe from our first EP, like The Secrets We Can't Keep. That was an old demo that like got tossed to the side. But I don't know. We've always kind of liked the riff and stuff, and we thought maybe it would be a cool exercise to like revive that old demo into something new. And Pat, our guitar player, has been doing a lot of the heavy lifting when it comes to writing, and so he finished the song and came up with the idea, and then we all got together and so I think it's cool. It represents like who we were and also who we are now.
That's a great mesh of the two.
Yeah.
How is it an evolution in your sound since your EP Stumbling Skyward?
Yeah, I mean, on Stumbling Skyward, I don't think we even had Alex as our vocalist yet. So that was like, we were a 5-piece, fresh out of high school, trying to figure out who we were. We were super into like Under Oath and all those like kind of harder, heavier emo bands coming up. So I think we were kind of finding our footing there. Like, how do we mesh our love of pop punk music and also like breakdowns? And so Stumbling Skyward, it's not even available on streaming, but I always thought it'd be funny to put it up there because it doesn't sound very good.
Really? You don't think so?
No.
Well, we get better with age.
Yeah, and I remember we went and recorded at a studio in New Hampshire, and it was just like a very low budget, which obviously it's fine. But we've toyed with the idea of like it'd be fun to redo maybe a couple songs off that and give them like a good recording, give them justice.
There you go.
Yeah, because like from Stumbling Skyward to The Secrets We Can't Keep, it's that was our big like first step in evolution right there.
What is inspiring your songwriting nowadays?
Like I said, Pat has been doing a lot of the writing for Sparks currently. And it's been different for us because we grew up writing songs about relationships, and so now that we're all a little bit more seasoned, we're trying to write about maybe some deeper issues that are going on in the world, in our lives. And like the last song we just released called Chase the Dawn was basically like a love letter to anyone who's ever cared about our band. We wanted to write it as like a thank you for anyone who has cares. Yeah, so we're trying to expand our horizons a little bit.
Would you say your songs are sort of born from a riff, the bridge, the lyric? How do you usually get started?
I keep saying for Sparks because like I also write songs, but they're definitely not songs that would work in Sparks. But when it comes to the Sparks stuff, Pat's just been crushing it. He'll come up with like it usually starts with like a riff or something, and then he's getting really good at demoing, and so he's just like always sending over ideas, and then it's cool for us to like listen to them. And we all have like our own little home office studios, like I'm sitting in mine right now, where I can mess around on guitar and vocals and ideas. And same thing with Alex. So it seems to be born out of just like, oh, hey, someone will be like, I got an idea, and you guys want to like throw something down on it, and then even the last recording session we did, we kind of just went in and with like the let's see what happens attitude, and it turned out pretty sweet.
Where do you find the most catharsis, the most release in the process? Is it the songwriting? Is it the recording or the performing?
I don't know. They're all really cool. I think, the act of writing and recording personally is probably one of my favorite parts. It's just the act of being creative and creative something that didn't exist before. I just think is the coolest. Especially in this artificial intelligence day and age. It's like I'm trying to like, how do we embrace AI, but also, like it's scary. Like when it comes to music, what people are doing with AI, it's insane. So like to me, I'm kind of digging my heels in a little bit. Like no, like the act of creating is like the important part. And so that's probably my favorite part. I love being creative and writing songs and recording. Obviously playing live is great too. But playing live hurts my back a little more now than it used to.
Speaking of creative, with such a scope of your discography, how do you go about crafting your set list now for live shows?
Yeah, it's there's a lot of songs to pick from. It's there's like a meme I saw floating around that was like showing band members arguing over their set list, and at the bottom was like, no one gives a shit. But
Just
we
play the bangers.
yeah, it's unbelievable how much time I'll spend like trying to craft a set list and send it to the guys, and we're like, well, I don't think we should open with that. Oh, maybe we shouldn't close with that. Like honestly, no one's gonna really care. But I think we really just at this point in our lives, like anyone who cares enough to buy a ticket to come see us, we want to play songs that they want to hear. So that seems to be a lot of the Secrets We Can't Keep, Eyes to the Sun stuff, and then the newer songs that we've been putting out, and a couple in between. But really, we just want to play songs that people want to hear and have a good time.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Do you prefer the more intimate club gigs or the outdoor music festivals?
Yeah, those both have their like place for sure. Obviously playing outdoor festivals to a bunch of people is really cool and fun. I find it harder to like maybe connect with the audience though. I'm a fan of like grungy, dirty 200 cap bar shows. That's just my jam.
Especially when you're growing, like we're of the same age range, and
Yeah.
those like I think a lot of our first concerts or earlier concerts was like a VFW hall, and like
Yeah.
people are just right there. So being so far up on a stage so far away has got to be a little bit of a difference to handle.
Yeah, I mean, I look at those big shows as like they're super important and crucial because it puts you in front of a big audience that maybe wouldn't have seen you play before. And then when you come back and play at the grungy bar down the street, maybe some of them will come.
Now, the band played Warped Tour a little whiles ago in 2010.
Yeah.
If you had the opportunity to do it again, would you do it?
Yeah, I mean, Warped Tour was always like the like the pinnacle of anything we wanted to do. It was so cool when we got to play. I think we did like a little over a month of 2010's Warped Tour. We did it in a van. It was pretty brutal. If we did it again, I see now that they're just doing like a couple cities. That sounds great. I'm into that.
I
Yeah,
kind of I feel like that's so intentional. One, it's like no one can deal with that slog, and people are starting to realize, like, you know what? Maybe summertime in Arizona is not the time for a music show.
right. Yeah, because I mean, they give every band like some swag at the beginning of the Warp Tour. We all got a free pair of Vans shoes, and I remember specifically it was one of those. It might have been Arizona. We were just sitting at the merch table in the parking lot, and like my shoes were melting to the pavement, just sitting there.
Oh my gosh. Yeah,
Yeah,
that doesn't sound like fun. And then there's all the dragging of the equipment and just everything else.
yeah,
I think they're doing like and it's different times of year too. It's DC here, maybe Florida, LA, Mexico City, and I think I'm forgetting a fifth one. Because
Yeah,
I remember the logo that there's 5, but I think Mexico City's in October. So they're
perfect.
actually thinking ahead about the weather.
Yeah, that's.
I love that.
Yeah. I mean, all our friends were on buses too. Like we always had to be like the difficult band when it came to anything. So like, when the label's saying you guys should do work with songwriters, like hell no, we're not working with songwriters. They were like, we could like probably get you guys on a bus, but it'll cost about what you're gonna get paid every day. And we're like, no, fuck that. We're doing the van. So we were just shot for like a month, like driving 12 hours a night, and everyone was cooked. But I mean, what a time. It was fun.
It's definitely a badge of honor for bands.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I feel like we like paid some dues by doing Warped Tour in a van.
Absolutely. So
Yeah.
from 2010 to 2026, what does success look or feel like for you now versus then?
Yeah, I think back then we were just, like every other band, just trying to make it, whatever make it means. I'm not sure we ever put a whole lot of thought into what that actually means. Maybe, at some point to me, it was like, if we ever make it to a bus, then we've made it. Or if we've ever like are able to headline, huge rooms, then we've made it. And, those things didn't necessarily happen. But what did end up happening is that personally, I've been able to make a career out of playing music and writing music, and it's my full-time job. So I have a solo career. I have my brothers and Sparks. They're doing stuff. I've got family and a house, and I think sometimes when I take a step back, I'm like, maybe making it isn't exactly what I thought it was, but I think being able to turn my hobby into a career, like, might not be the worst thing that happened.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
When the 2010s were definitely a very different time. You were talking about AI before, but just technology wise, like we had MySpace, and I'm sure you remember warp lines just going through with like your headphones
Yeah.
trying to get people to listen. Do you feel any sort of pressure to have like a viral moment or like really intentionally use your social media now, or is it kind of a double-edged sword of sorts?
Yeah, I mean, that was so different, but like, yeah, Alex was really good. He would get up every morning no matter how tired we were, and he would just like hustle in the Warp Tour lines with headphones. And I mean, honestly, that was so huge for our band. And even years after that, people will come out to shows and say like, I bought your CD for $5 in the Warp line of Warp Tour. um I just feel like I'm not sure if that kind of thing is occurring as much anymore, because you can just go on Instagram and throw $50 at a targeted ad wherever city you're going, and boom, now you feel like you don't have to like make personal connections anymore. But I just think personal connections are always going to matter more than just scrolling, which, I'm guilty of it too, doom scrolling. It's just like it is the way of life now as the world burns. But I think I just think personal connections are always going to matter more. I don't even remember what you just asked me, to be honest. Did I answer it?
Do you feel a pressure to have a
Oh, yeah.
viral moment?
Yeah, I think I personally don't. And Pat has taken over the band TikTok. I kind of take over the band IG and Facebook, and we do our best. But what I've noticed is that anyone who's like trying to go viral, it's like so obvious to me, and I just don't have it in me. I think we're just gonna continue to be like some dads who like to play rock music, and if something silly goes viral, cool. But like I can't imagine like spending too much time chasing it. It's too much. I mean, if there was TikTok back in the day, I feel like we could have had a good chance, because I mean, we just did ridiculous shit all the time. I mean, a bunch of 20-year-old dudes just living in a van for months at a time, and it's just you go crazy. And I remember making I made all our tour videos, and I had like a handheld camcorder, and they're still on YouTube. Some of them have aged better than others, but it's funny. I haven't watched them in probably 10 years, but once in a while I'll go back and watch some of our old tour videos of me and my little handheld camera. I'm like, man, I'm glad I at least documented something, because we didn't have TikTok, or Instagram was kind of coming up. Um, but it was it blows my mind now to think like what touring with an iPhone would be like. We didn't really have that.